Hello students, I'm Himani Sharma, your educator. I warmly welcome you all on our YouTube platform where we in today's video are going to get introduced to a new school of literary theory. And what is the name of the school? The school that we are going to discuss is Feminist Literary Theory. Now you guys must be acquainted with some terms, some radical feminism or any type of feminism which is there. Some people call their own selves or the other people call the other people, right, pseudo-feminists. The ones who pretend to be feminists but are not in their practices, but they are in their thoughts and all, right. So how feminism was spread? What was it? How in literary theory this school is important, who are the major theorists, etc., their major books, works, terms, terminologies. These we are going to discuss in the upcoming videos, but in today's video, this solely would be related to the introduction which is related to the school of feminist literary theory, right? So, we will be talking about how there are three major waves of feminism which happened to be there, from where the term has been coined, so on and so forth, right? So, let us just first of all see from where the term has been taken. The word feminism, coined by the French utopian socialist Charles Fourier in 1837. Now, why such piece of information is important? Because of the fact that NET examination now has started happening in such a manner that they go in depth. Secondly, they ask questions which you might not be knowing the answer to, because बहुत सारा fact जो है अंदर कूट के भरा होता है, including the subjectivity that comes with that, correct? So you guys might be thinking, if feminism nobody coined it, but this term has been coined by someone in the year 1837. Back at the times even when there was no such wave associated with it that came. Correct. So, these are certain factors which are important. Approach should be to grab your pen, pencil, paper, etc. wherever you are making your notes. Correct. Secondly, start noting the things down in such a manner, because we are providing you with the videos related to different schools of literary theory. Correct. So, how your approach should be? जैसे हम लोग ने post-structuralism, we have talked about deconstruction till now, the major theorists, right? And the terms that have been coined by those major theorists, we need to also understand the other upcoming schools which have been there. Correct. So, यहाँ पे, and we are approaching these videos in such a sense that we all have the major works, the major theorists, the terms they have coined, etc., in a substantial manner, as well as in a manner which would be solely there for you to revise as well. When you pick your copy up, एक दो दिन पहले you guys pick your copy up from the examination की revision के लिए, this is going to help you in that chunk. Correct? So let's move forward. It's a political perspective and a theoretical framework. You view certain things through a feminist lens. Now, what does it mean to be a feminist is so much so subjective to people and their opinions about women, their use of their bodies, the reproductive rights, the suffragette, etc. We are going to talk about them as well. Hence, this theory is political in nature. It's also a theoretical framework that how women in previous times, even in today's time, if we try to talk about it, how are they presented in pieces of art, in pieces of literature, अगर हम literary theory की बात करते हैं, correct? So how women as an image has been portrayed in the works of literature, and how we can take up this theory, we can apply it to any work that we have read and view things from the perspective of a feminist theory lens, correct? So moving forward, it centers on the gender analysis within cultural context. You want to view, you want to see how women have been treated one way or the other, similar or in a different manner, situated in a particular culture, and of course you want to see how men are also treated in that same culture. If women are subjugated, how men are treated. We talk about the terms like patriarchy, we talk about other terms which are associated with feminism, subjugation, subaltern even for that matter, right? So how the things do come up here, because these people do want to raise up their voice. They want to talk about how from years and years their voices have been the one जो subjugate करी जा चुकी है, correct? So gender analysis to see how males have been privileged and women have been subjugated in even the piece of literature that was mainly male dominated, male written, etc. Correct? Equality, rights and justice for women is what feminism demands, and feminists in the literary theory also demand the same justice, equality and right for women in literature. That if we should not always show women who are the ones who are being the mothers, the disciplined mothers, the disciplined daughters, etc. But they should have their identity of their own. If one person wants to be a rebel, let them be. Correct? If one person wants to be disciplined because they want to be like that, let them be. Correct? And how you treat males is how you should be treating females in every sphere is what they try to talk about. And they are going to judge each and every piece through that lens only. Correct? That's why I am keeping on repeating the same point. It talks about gender roles are socially constructed rather than inherent. We are the people who somewhere or the other, अगर हम लोग conditioning की बात करें, what is conditioning here? Why are we saying that they are socially constructed? Why are we saying that they are not? We are not born with something. We are not born with some sort of gender construction in our mind. It's a society which constructs the same thing in our minds and we are conditioned to that kind of thinking. If I give you an example here, blue as a color is majorly associated with boys. And pink is a color which is majorly associated with girls. Why is that? Who gave the colors even that much responsibility of being or denoting someone who's a boy or who's a girl, so on and so forth? This is what the feminists are going to question. They are going to say that whatever has been there, society has constructed that idea. Whosoever was in power, and who has been in power since the longer ages, the men have been in power, and they tried to perpetually treat women in such a manner. Correct? So this compartmentalization is what they question through their lens. Correct? Through their approach. Women conform to specific roles like a daughter or a mother. And you cannot be simultaneously both, or if you are, then there might be certain challenges that you are facing in your marital, in your familial life, correct? So how those things are moved across in different cultures, in different areas and situations is what they try to see. Feminist literary theory establishes a link between the depiction of women in artistic portrayal. That could be in any novel, that could be in any short story, right? Short story. That could be in any drama. Not just the drama of Britain, America, so on and so forth, but the drama of India as well. Correct? If we try to talk about the play Tara, उसमें क्या होता है? Chandan and Tara, they are both conjoined twins, na? But because of the fact that the parents want Chandan की conjoined twins की surgery के बाद Chandan को legs पूरी मिल जाए, then what happens here? The female is subjugated. The born baby, the born child is being subjugated and the male is being privileged upon by the parents. Correct? So all these things, these hidden perspectives are what the feminists are going to give us. Correct? The real and concrete conditions that women experience, some do talk about it, some do not talk about it. And if they are portraying certain things, like agar aapne Margaret Atwood ki Elias Grace, if you know the name of this work by Margaret Atwood, there is a mini series on Netflix as well about this particular work. You will see that how here, इसी वजह से there will be lots and lots of connections between cultural studies, between literary theory as well. If you would have heard the name of a very prominent one, Laura Mulvey, she wrote an essay, Visual Pleasure and Narrative Cinema. Then she tries to talk about the male gaze, that how female is shown in any movie and they are sexualized, they are objectified and all. Correct? And that happens with, and agar there's this Marathi movie that I also saw with the name Nude, it was dubbed in, Hindi. It was dubbed in Hindi and I watched that movie. The movie was all about the fine arts ke students and the sculptors as well. They want to draw a sculpture of a naked woman. But when and nobody is ready to sit naked in front of a man, in front of a sculptor. But just one woman who is, working in the college even, she says that yes, of course, I will sit, but I need money because she wants to earn bread for her family. That's such a very powerful yet helpless move that is there. She wants to earn bread, that's why she has to sit naked, right? At the same point of time, this whole entire thing is so powerful that none other woman came there to the rescue of the students who were supposedly to make the sculptures. These subaltern women, the group, unme se ek aayi, regardless of thinking about anything. Correct? And still in the movie, it has been shown that the women and even the principal, the parents of the students who have been there, they are against the idea. But what is art? If we see the Greek sculptors, etc., वो भी तो naked होते हैं. But view it through the lens of an artist and not person who is sexualizing things. Correct? So feminist में हमें ये देखने के लिए मिलता है. Feminist literary and cultural theorists and critics posit that cultural texts including cinema, TV soap operas, music and painting mirror genuine power struggles between genders. You see majorly in the soap operas we see, if I was talking about Elias Grace, Laura Mulvey's male gaze has been so beautifully shown in the last or second last episode, I think, where the woman Elias is sitting with the veil and she is talking in a very strong voice of a woman and she starts pointing to the males who are there. And she tries to talk about their hidden desires which are something to do with her, of course. But the power in the voice is something that I got goosebumps from, correct? So here, whatever power struggles we see, those are portrayed here. Majorly, हम लोग को दिखाया जाता है कि औरत जो है वो पतिव्रता होनी चाहिए. She should be always and always obedient to her father, to her husband, to her brother. But what about her opinions is what the feminists are going to see, that there are disparities, there are differences. And that is just because whosoever is in power, that is Foucault's idea that feminists are also going to talk about. Foucault कहते हैं ना कि power, अगर आपने post structuralism वाली video देखी होगी, Foucault says that power, episteme, जिसका episteme पे control हो गया power वाले का, he will be seeing that what type of knowledge, what type of episteme is spread. Correct? So back in times must have happened that the patriarchy, and Foucault also talks about the history of sexuality. The sexuality is written on the body. Correct? So how that is written on the body, how one should be challenging those things, those ideas, etc. We talk about that. So there have been 3 waves of feminism which are there. First wave feminism, late 19th to the early 20th century. Second, 1960s to 80s. Then 1990s to the present. This is somewhere or the other an overlapping field. कुछ हद तक years आगे पीछे हो सकते हैं, of course, because many books have a different point of view. But majorly, if we talk about the proximity, the time frame is this. Now, first wave feminism, it talked about legal and political rights of suffrage. What is suffrage? Voting rights. Correct? Second wave में we see the social, economic and cultural issues like reproductive rights, workplace rights and the discrimination that happens here, sexuality and all. That woman, if she has her own body, she wants to have a baby or she does not want to have a baby, it's completely her choice. If she wants to abort a child, it's her body, it should be her choice. That came in the second wave feminism. Correct? So first wave mein we had voting rights, property rights and the demand for equality. Second mein we had reproductive rights, workplace discrimination ko we have to finish, and sexuality etc. uske basis pe jo discrimination hoti hai, that should be questioned. Correct? Then third wave, 1990s to present, it still is going on. Intersectionality, diversity and individual agency. Now what happened was that in the first and second wave feminism, majorly what was happening, that the white women, majorly feminism was something which started in the Americas. Correct? So the white women were the ones who were saying we want the right to vote etc. But the blacks the black women, they were not given that much importance. So here the intersectionality, the diversity that I'm trying to portray here, the global perspectives, inclusivity and diversity, that is to include even the black women, because the white women were there by their own selves also discriminating against the black women as well. So to just end that thing up as well, and black women stood up for their own selves, wanted to get inclusivity in the entire wave. That's why they stood up for their own selves, and they were like, yes, of course, if white women want this, we are also women, we are also neglected, we should also be given the same rights. Correct? So here the discrimination between white and black women also tried to diminish. Then critique of patriarchal societal structures. Second wave was a critique of the gender roles of institutionalized sexism, that yes, of course, if a woman gets pregnant, it's not only her choice to abort the baby, and she cannot abort the baby. That's why the many feminists were against this idea. Correct? Third wave, stereotypes ko break karna hai, exclusion and limitations. Key figures of first wave feminism are Susan B. Anthony, these were the activists and all, Elizabeth K. D. Stanton. Second wave, Betty Friedan, Gloria Steinem, correct? Third wave, Bell Hooks, Kimberly Crenshaw, Judith Butler, who will give us the theory of gender performativity, that you are not born with a gender, but you rather perform your gender your entire life. So achievements were, after first wave feminism, when it had been there, the conclusion was there, women were given the rights to vote. After second wave feminism, reproductive and workplace equality rights were granted to the women. Third wave may increased awareness of intersectionality, that yes, of course, not only white women, but the black women, the women of other color should also be included in the field. So to say, to provide the equal opportunity and equality that the feminists their own selves are claiming to be. Correct? So this is what we all were supposed to cover in today's video, where we tried to talk about feminism at its crux and best, including the first, second and third wave feminism, what's the term, its origin, so on and so forth. What it tries to talk about, we have taken a look at certain examples that I've tried to quote in here. When you get the time, you can watch the movie Nude. You can also watch Elias Grace, a mini series which happens to be there on Netflix, so on and so forth, right? So I'll see you guys again in some other video with the major theorists who are related to feminism. Till then, you keep on studying. Thank you so much and have a good day. Bye-bye.